Dexter Morgan, blood splatter analyst by day, serial killer by night. The premise alone turned the show Dexter into a global hit. A man who hunts murderers that the system let go, all while maintaining the perfect disguise. A quiet, nerdy lab technician. But let's be real for a second. Could someone like Dexter actually pull this off in real life? Could you really live a double life like that without ever getting caught? Today, we're diving in, like forensic deep, into the science, psychology, and real-world comparisons behind Dexter's secret life. We're talking about the mental stain of hiding your darkest self, the forensic nightmares that would blow up any plan, and why real life isn't as forgiving as TV fiction. Stick around till the end, because some of what we found is going to change the way you see Dexter forever. And of course, don't try this at home or anywhere. This is purely for entertaining purposes. Let's start with the big one. Is it even possible to live two totally separate lives without anyone suspecting a thing? That's Dexter's daily high-wire act. On the surface, he's calm, polite, invisible. Underneath, he's a methodical, calculated killer hiding behind a lab coat and a pair of glasses. In the show, he follows the Code of Harry, a set of moral rules from his adoptive father. Rule number 1, only kill those who deserve it. Rule number 2, never get caught. Now, this code isn't just a way to avoid jail. It's Dexter's way of justifying the urge to kill, turning a dark impulse into a twisted form of justice. But here's the catch. Real people, they don't compartmentalize like that so easily. And when they do, it costs them. The closest real-world parallels: undercover cops, deep cover agents, spies. These are the people who live with fake identities, double lives, and constant pressure. One former FBI agent said living undercover felt like inhabiting multiple realities at once. The psychological term? Disassociation, separating parts of your mind to survive conflicting lives. But disassociation comes with baggage, anxiety, depression, burnout, a feeling of being detached from the world and from yourself. In Dexter's world, he rarely makes a mistake, and when he does, he fixes it in minutes. That's the magic of screenwriting. In real life, one slip, a weird comment, a mood swing, a moment of vulnerability, and you're exposed. Now, let's talk guilt. Dexter is portrayed as someone who doesn't feel remorse. That's actually consistent with the traits of a psychopath. In brain scans, psychopaths show reduced activity in amygdala and prefrontal cortex, the regions responsible for empathy, fear, and guilt. It helps explain Dexter's cold logic, but even real-life psychopaths eventually crack. Some confess out of paranoia, others slip up from stress or sheer exhaustion. Look at Robert Hansen, a real FBI agent who spied for the Russians. He kept it up for decades, but in the end, he collapsed under psychological pressure and fear. The human brain just isn't built to keep massive secrets forever. And then there's the loneliness. This might be Dexter's biggest burden, surrounded by people, but totally alone. Always calculating what to say, how to act, when to smile. Living under that kind of mental surveillance, it drains you fast. One missed appointment, one strange reaction, one out-of-character moment, and boom, the mask slips. Bottom line, living like Dexter is next to impossible. The human mind isn't designed to support two radically different identities without cracking. And even if your mental game is flawless, the physical evidence will still get you. Which brings us to our next chapter. Let's talk about Dexter's infamous kill rooms. Plastic wrap everywhere. Surgical precision, everything squeaky clean. But in the real world, can you really erase every trace of a crime? Short answer, nope. Let's start with the obvious. Blood. Even if you clean it until the floor shines, forensic investigators use a chemical called luminol, and it reveals blood invisible to the naked eye. Blood seeps into cracks, fabrics, wood grain. You might think it's gone, but it's still there, waiting. And it's not just blood. Microscopic fibers, hairs, even dust particles can connect you to a scene. A single hair can carry nuclear and mitochondrial DNA. A half-wiped footprint can lead straight to you. Forensic experts are clear. There's no such thing as a perfect cleanup, especially when you're working alone and under pressure. Now, Dexter is a blood splatter analyst, so the show leans into that expertise. But in reality, blood splatter analysis is far less exact than the show makes it seem. Variables like surface texture, angle, velocity, airflow, they all affect patterns. Try to fake or clean that up, you'll miss something. Guaranteed. And then there's DNA. This is where it gets brutal. You leave your DNA everywhere. Dead skin cells, sweat, saliva, hair, even with gloves and full gear. It's nearly impossible not to leave a trace. All it takes is one mistake, and your secret life is over. Real-life examples? Easy. Dennis Rader, aka the BTK killer, was caught because of a floppy disk. Richard Ramirez left a shoe print. Even the tiniest oversight can bring down a criminal empire. Now, about Dexter's timeline. He kidnaps, kills, cleans up, disposes of the body. All in a single night? Real crime scene investigations take days, sometimes weeks, and he does this solo. Under the radar? Come on, that's TV magic. Even body disposal is oversimplified. Dexter wraps corpses in plastic and dumps them in the ocean. But guess what? Bodies float. Decomposition gases make them rise. Tides shift. Even a deep-sea dump can backfire. In Season 2, Dexter's victims start resurfacing. That's realistic. It happens all the time. A body tossed at sea doesn't disappear forever. So yeah, these so-called perfect crimes on Dexter, they'd fall apart under the light of modern forensic science. Every detail the show glosses over is exactly where real killers get caught. But let's say, somehow, you cleaned it all up. No DNA, no blood, no prints. You still have to deal with the next massive challenge. Let's talk brute strength. Moving a human body? It's not like the movies. A dead adult male can weigh over 200 pounds. Dead weight doesn't help you. It doesn't balance itself. And Dexter, a lean guy, is dragging bodies around like they're gym bags? In real life, even morticians use tools to move corpses. Gurneys, winches, assistants. Dexter does it all solo. Now, let's talk sedatives. Dexter uses a tranquilizer called M99, etorphine, a drug meant for elephants. This stuff is highly regulated. Dosing it correctly? Not easy. If you underdose, the victim wakes up. If you overdose, they die before your ritual even starts. Either way, it's risky. One wrong calculation, and it's game over. Then comes the cleanup. He finds abandoned warehouses, storage units, vacant homes, and turns them into temporary kill rooms. Plastic everywhere, no trace left behind. But how's he accessing these places? Breaking in? Renting them under fake names? What about cameras? Security patrols? Even if he finds the location, the setup and teardown alone would take hours. Not to mention hiding blood-stained tools, syringes, plastic sheets, and a body. And we haven't even gotten to body disposal. Dismembering a body isn't just gross, it's hard. You need power tools, anatomical knowledge, time. You also need to clean everything afterward. Tools, floors, clothes, and then, just for fun, you get to carry heavy, smelly, blood-soaked trash bags to your boat without anyone seeing. Even if you get the body to the ocean, that's not the end. Ocean currents are unpredictable. tides shift, and remember, bodies float. So when the show suggests that all it takes is planning and discipline, that's dangerous fiction. Real killers, even highly organized ones like Jeffrey Dahmer or Robert Pickton, left trails. They were caught because the human body always leaves evidence. Dexter isn't just cold and calculated, he's superhuman, and that brings us to a scarier point. Let's talk about Pedro Rodrigues Filho, aka the Brazilian Dexter. He claimed to only kill criminals, said he was doing society a favor. Pedro wasn't calm or calculated. He killed out of revenge, rage, impulse. He murdered his own father, who had killed his mother. When his pregnant girlfriend was murdered, he hunted down the killers. He wasn't following a code, he was chasing vengeance. And he was caught. Spent decades in prison, not because police were brilliant, but because real people leave clues. They act emotionally. They make mistakes. Then there's Mark Twitchell, a Canadian filmmaker who built a Dexter-inspired kill room in his garage, lured in a victim, killed him, tried to clean it up. But he left tons of evidence, emails, GPS data, surveillance footage. He was caught fast. He's now serving life in prison. Other cases like Huvard Kniflute in Norway or Stephen Miles in the UK. Some people using Dexter as justification for horrifying crimes. Experts warn, Dexter isn't a person. He's an archetype. The idea of a flawless killer with no emotions, no mistakes, no regrets, that's fiction. Real people, they feel, they mess up, they break down. And when you compare the show to reality, the clearer it becomes. Dexter only works because he has to.
It's time for you to go away.
He's designed to survive in a world written by screenwriters. We've covered a lot: psychology, forensic science, logistics, real-world cases. And they all point to one thing: Dexter's perfect double life? Total fiction. His mental control, his cold precision, his meticulous rituals, they don't survive contact with reality. Whether it's DNA, surveillance, stress, or just plain bad luck, the real world catches up. So, here's the final question. Could you live like Dexter without ever getting caught? Or would your first slip-up, a fingerprint, a misplaced fiber, a tried mistake be the thing that brings it all down? Let us know in the comments. What part of Dexter's routine do you think would fail first in real life? And hey, if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more deep dives into the science behind your favorite characters. Because here, we uncover what fiction won't show you.